Coach's Corner is brought to you by Capital Investment Advisory Services. Hello and welcome into another episode of Coach's Corner. My name is Mitch Stewart, and joined alongside me here today is Dawgs head coach Dan Brimmer. Dan, thanks for joining me.
Yep, thanks, Mitch.
Good deal. Well, we're going to roll right into it here, Dan. You all had a weekend split with first place Huntsville this past weekend, and it's really been rolling for you recently. How do you think the team played this past weekend when you went down on the road to Alabama?
Take the result of split in first place Huntsville's arena, but honestly, inconsistent. I think we could have easily taken 3 or 4 points out of it, but short windows where we just weren't all there. Particularly in the second game. Luckily, we overcame it through that second period, but they had 3 goals in about 4 minutes and really put the pressure back on us. They tied it up, and we were able to overcome it. But even that first night, I think for much of the game we were in control, and we didn't bury our opportunities. And then obviously they were able to come out on top of that one, even with some late chances to tie it up. Just couldn't get over the hump.
You guys have been in control of a lot of games recently, so I understand you kind of wanted to keep that foot down on the pedal. You guys have finally reached the official halfway point in the season. 28 games in the books, 28 games left. How would you kind of assess where the team is at this halfway point looking into the second half of the season?
We're definitely trending in the right direction, and everybody's talking about how wins are coming in now, but I've been talking about it all year. I think we've been playing the right way for a long time, and we weren't getting balances at the right times early in the year, and had to work through those and find ways to win. And I think it's only going to be better for us down the last half stretch here.
Well, one guy that's really kind of turned on here in the past couple of weekends, Billy Vizzo. He's had a bit of a roller coaster season. He started off the year really well, earned his call up, and then unfortunately was sidelined with some health issues up in South Carolina. And then he comes back, he gets a bit of an injury that knocks him out, but 5-game point streak here of late, 3 goals, 6 assists. How great is it to kind of see him finally hit his stride after a bit of adversity that he faced?
Yeah, no doubt he can be one of the best players in the league, and it was nice to see. He plays his best when he's got a physical aspect to his game. He's got a mean-sided chip on his shoulder, and he came back after that injury and was a little hesitant that first game, and we kind of talked about it. And since then, getting his kind of physicality back into it, and his he's very good with his stick when he's kind of got a violent stick, and it's paid off in the last 5-6 games. It's been awesome to see. Adding, when you got guys like Mac Jansen, Jeff Jones that are kind of carrying the load all the time, to be able to add that secondary and tertiary scoring is going to be huge going forward into as games get tougher. One
other player that's kind of come into the fold of late that you were able to add, he's been here all season but was serving as the assistant coach to start the year. Wojciech Litzke is back out on the ice, a goal and 3 assists in just 4 games for him. What kind of led to that transition and him getting back out onto the ice and hanging up the whistle, and how do you think that he's played in these first few games back with the Dawgs?
Yeah, well, Wazemi originally, even before the season started, he had interest in playing, and we kind of talked it out, and he also has interest in, eventually moving on from playing and doing coaching and instructing and stuff. So, I told him, he'd have an opportunity to make the team if he wanted to try out, he's got a wife here in town, and he's going to be living here. I said, if that's not the way you want to go, there's definitely room that we could probably have you on the coaching staff, and that's the way we ended up going to start the year. It's been an interesting year with COVID still, with immigration issues. Defensemen have been really hard to find, and unfortunately when the NHL taxi squads got announced, however long ago that was, about a month ago, our team got hit pretty hard as far as D. We lost 3 D in about 5 days. And we were kind of scrambling, and we're sitting here scratching our heads on what to find, and we're like, we got a pretty good defenseman sitting here in the office, and he worked for a couple weeks there to get himself back in shape, and he's been great. I think it's a funny thing I always talk to the guys about is I think I'd be a better player now than I was when I was playing mentally. I don't know about physically anymore, but mentally anyways, because you think it all the time. We're always in this office, we're always talking about, we're always watching video, we're always drawing up plays and stuff. And you can see his mind working at a faster pace. Like he dove in and he was ready to go, and it's showing off, and not just in points, but in the way he's playing. Very composed out there.
Well, coming into this weekend, it's your first 3-3 of the season where you have 3 games in 3 days. Of course, you're supposed to have one a few weekends back, but now looking forward to the next 4 weekends. You guys get 3 of these 3-3 series and then 9 straight games on the road. What are you kind of telling your team? What is your message like when you kind of enter into the teeth of your schedule going down the stretch here?
Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot, and to me, it comes down to like preparing yourself well before. We talked about early this week about making sure we're hydrating the right way, making sure we're resting the right way. It's an absolute grind, and this week we have 3 games in 3 days in 3 different cities. So the travel is as well. You don't sleep as well. So we're not sugarcoating it. We know we're going to be going through a hard stretch here. That being said, every team goes through this in this league. So they all have their stretches where more travel, more on the road, or these 3-and-3s. We're getting our first one in a treat where we get back-to-back 3-and-3s. So, we got 6 games in a matter of, I think it's 9 days. So rest is important. Practice times are going to shorten up, and it's going to be opened up for more rest. Your reps, our practice time is we're going to have to get out of the game as well. So.
Well, good deal. Well, hope you guys are able to kind of take care of your bodies, and as always, best of luck to you all this weekend and moving forward.
Thanks, Mitch.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Coach's Corner. Dan Brimner and I will be here at the arena tonight. The Macon Mayhem will come into town to take on the Roanoke Rail Yard Dawgs, so you won't want to miss it. It's Thursday here in the Star City, and then make sure to also check out the Rail Yard Dawgs this weekend as they head to Birmingham and Huntsville. You can watch that on Hockey TV or listen along on the Rail Yard Dawgs Hockey Network
there
on
you go.
Mixler. Yeah, right. I say it enough times. I should get it by
That's
now.
right.
Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your day. Coach's Corner is brought to you by Capital Investment Advisory Services,